So Bashar, to start off with, the first question that we have is from India, from Mr. Rajesh Mishra. He spoke, so you spoke a bit about it, but please can you elaborate on 360 anything?
Sure. Thank you, L'Oreal. It's a great question. So 360 anything, it really takes master data management to the next level. So if we think about MDM and we take a customer example, so I manage, let's say that I have requirements to have a clean customer data for their address, locations, etc. So you go, you buy an MDM platform and you manage that customer data, but then it sits in isolation. 360 anything really blends master data and metadata with transactional data using data virtualization technology. So at the end of the day, you have a customer 360 view that connects to this customer clean data along with transactional data of this customer, like his sales orders, purchase orders, and then deliver that unified customer view, the 360 view of that customer to your analytical users or to your consuming applications. And you can literally have anything as 360, whether it's customers, products, inventories, accounts, anything you think of, any object, you can have that 360 view of it, you combining data virtualization and or data management.
Excellent, thank you, Bashar. The next question we have is from a gentleman by the name of Khalid Alatawi. Data governance and management is an essential factor for data to action process, but how is it possible to apply governance on streaming data?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, if you asked me this question probably last month, L'Oreal, I would tell you, and thank you, Khalid, for the question. I would tell you that it's almost not impossible, but it's very difficult. You know, streaming data. It's coming. I need to visualize it. But how we're doing it today is lately we've added streaming capability to our data virtualization platform. So in data virtualization, this is where we can govern the streaming data. We can define governance policies and access policies. Who can access that? Probably if I have a huge set of streaming data, I only want to allow certain fields to be accessed by certain persons. So we can define all of that governance and policies in our data virtualization. And again, this is one of the innovations that I talked about for data virtualization, bringing streaming data in data virtualization.
Excellent, thank you. Another question we have is from India, from Mr. Prakash Ramachandran. You have touched briefly on the TIBCO integration capabilities, but what about IoT and device integration?
Okay, again, that's another great question, L'Oreal, and that really brings this question really brings the discussion of this data to action from our central ecosystem to the edge and to the devices side. So the innovation that we had in this that enables the answer to this question is what we have something called TIBCO Flogo. So TIBCO Flogo is a lightweight integration platform that we have developed that's very lightweight, that can actually be deployed on the edge devices. And on the edge devices, we're able to make real-time actions. We can actually deploy a machine learning capabilities into these edge devices and execute them using TIBCO Flogo. So TIBCO Flogo is really what enables that IoT integration if we want to do it on the edge itself. If we need just to connect to different IoT devices, we have different connectivity like MQTT protocols. We can connect to OPC, UA, WhatSML, Pi, and lots of IoT streaming equipments. But the TIBCO Flogo is really is the innovation that brings this whole data to action to the edge side and to the device side.
Okay, perfect. There is another question here. I can't see who it's from, excepting for a single name from Dana. Does TIBCO have built-in data science modules?
Yeah, so we have a very comprehensive data science platform, and as you've seen in the slides, guys, it's really one of the leaders in the latest report. So, and that data science platform, it has really all kinds of capability that allows you to create new data science models, or bring your own data science models that you wrote in R or Python, or even bring TensorFlow's models in our data science platform, and to manage that and govern that and collaborate in it. Plus a long list of out-of-the-box data science models available with the tools itself, so that you can use immediately. And then I'm going to link this question to the accelerators piece as well. So in the accelerators that we provide as well, for example, the drilling accelerator or the predictive maintenance for submersible pumps, or for trading, or for fraud detections, we are actually shipping ready-made data science models to achieve the anticipated results of every accelerator. And they're all available open source on our community page.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Bashar. I'm going to take 2 more questions in the time remaining. The rest of the questions we will have answered post the webinar. So the message or the question from Arwa Bashar is, in oil and gas industry, ML algorithm need to communicate with commercial softwares to complete the technical workflow. How does TIBCO handle the complete workflow cycle to get the ultimate output?
Yeah, I mean, and this is a very critical and important question, and obviously it requires lots of elaboration, and it as well relates to the answer that I just gave on the data science model. So with the whole cycle that we have, we allow you to write your own data science models, or bring your own data science models, deploy those models to our streaming platform, and then integrate those streaming capabilities with these commercial applications, with the data that's coming from them, and execute these models at real time. So definitely we can bring the data that's coming from these commercial systems, or these models that's executed over there. And as I said before, not only our own data science models we can use in this whole cycle, but if you have models written in R, in TensorFlow, PML, H2O, we can bring all of these and execute them in our platform. So this is on the execution cycle. Now on the governance and management, so the data science workbench and tools that we deliver, it helps you to really catalog all the data science that you have, to manage them, to govern them, to collaborate with users. We've lately as well added AutoML that helps you to, with the data set that you have, it generates automatically the data science models for you, and the test that you need to run to identify what's the best model that you need to select. So it's a very comprehensive platform that brings TIBCO closer to the whole ecosystem around it, and this end-to-end data science cycle.
Excellent, thank you. And then the last question for this session, coming through from Dr. Sanjay: what type of predictive and prescriptive analytics do you suggest to counter the supplier issues in COVID-19 situation and bring about a new normal?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting question. Thank you, Mr. Sanjay, Dr. Sanjay. And I think with the platform that we have, with the visibility, real-time visibility that we can bring to any organization, the platform can really help in the supply chain and demand cycle. So with the integration and streaming capability, we are able really to look at the our inventories at real time, and we can diagnose whatever we have today, and the current situation of our inventories and our current supply chain cycle, and then we can have so we can see things as they happen at real time, and in conjunction we can work on creating those analytical and predictive models that helps us to anticipate what could be the demand based on these real-time readings, or based on these dynamic changes that's happening today, to recommend what would be the best and optimal and ideal solution to manage the supply and demand. Do I need to fill my inventory in this area? Do I need to talk to this partner, or to that supplier, or to that partner? So the beauty of the platform is it can really bring all of these changes and all of this data that's happening around us, give us that real-time visibility, the predictions, and the giving us the prospective analytics that can recommend to us where I should, what enhancements and actions I need to take to optimize the inventories that I have and the whole supply chain cycle that I have. So it's really about putting the end-to-end platform together to deliver such solutions, just like what we're doing with many other use cases around predictive maintenance, or we're working as well in the US on a similar, it's not similar, I mean, it's similar in terms of supply chain, but it's on the medical equipments and in terms of the resources, the medical resources available and the beds available in different areas in the US based on the different outbreaks and hotspots that we are having, and the real-time data and the predictions that we're building.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bashar. We really appreciate your input on that. So it looks like that's all we have time for today. However, Bashar, is there anything else you wanted to mention in closing before we wrap up?
Thank you, L'Oreal, and thank you all for your attendance, and I really appreciate your time. It's been really a true pleasure. Please, if you have any further questions, please feel free to send them to me. I'll be more than happy to answer them and engage with you on one-to-one basis. Thank you all, and thank you, L'Oreal, for hosting this and orchestrating it.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much, Bashar, for being the presenter today. We also look forward to your next session that's coming up in our BCT TIBCO webinar series. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our session. Thank you very much for joining the Bahwan Cybertech and TIBCO webinar today. And we look forward to sharing a number of very relevant and transformative topics with you in our upcoming webinar series throughout May, June, and July. We will be sharing the recording of the session with you, and you will also be sending you a short survey on this webinar. Please do fill it in and let us know your thoughts on today's session, especially with Mr. Bashar Khalil. Until next time, stay safe and stay well. Have a good afternoon.